still alive?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah. Think where there's something. Get the sucker down. That's a big one. Yeah. So a dendrochronologist is a person who studies trees, and they use a little drill that bores into the tree, but it does it like in a circular manner, so it leaves a strip of solid wood in the middle of the drill bit. And I don't know what they use on such a big tree. They must have some kind of massive boring device. Must be.
I thought they couldn't use a borer on trees.
Yeah.
They have them that go
I think so.
the radius of the tree.
I think of tails of Douglas firs with bark up to 40 centimeters.
Whoa.
And like 30 centimeters is maybe more likely. Maybe 40 centimeters is a tall logger's tail. But yeah, it's probably at least half of that. Probably at least, yeah, 15 or 20 centimeters. Yeah. It's not as big as the ones in the Seymour Valley, that's for sure.
Seymour.
Those ones are much bigger. Actually, they're not that much thicker, but they're...
Oh, the Seymour
they're
Valley has
intact.
bigger ones.
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's rare to see such a big tree where you can see the whole thing. Usually
Yeah,
you just see this and you can't tell what goes on above it, right? Yeah.
I like your
All right.
hand things.
Yeah, a little bit of moss.
Sorry? Oh yeah. Well, they're pretty cute.
I'm gonna set up my camera. So yeah, this is the Hollyburn fir. This tree has been here for 1,350 years. It's being measured by a dendrochronologist. It's pretty much the maximum age of a Douglas fir. I've actually never heard of any Douglas firs that are older than this. Quite remarkable. Perhaps its sort of higher elevation growing place has helped it out because it's grown slowly and steadily, and it's still alive today. This tree wasn't discovered until the late 1980s. It was discovered by Randy Stoltman, who's a conservationist, a guy who spent a lot of time looking around BC to find the biggest trees, and he found a lot of the biggest trees. And Hannah, this is Hannah, everybody. She's with the Ancient Forest Alliance. And can you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the campaign to protect how much old growth left. And so we have statistics from Vancouver Island showing that already about 3/4 of the original old growth has already been logged. And if you look at certain areas like the lower elevation, which we haven't been that much in here, but lower elevation where you have the really huge trees, there's about only 10% left. So we don't have much left, and old growth forests are still being logged in BC. This is something that comes as a surprise sometimes to people. So it's still something that the BC Liberal government is standing by and saying this is okay, that we can still log the last of our old growth. And at the current rate that this is happening, like if you go into the back roads of BC, you can see how much old growth they're taking out. It's a lot.
We're on Google Earth.
Yeah. You can see the changes. You can go on Google Earth and see a place that looks like it has old growth and then go there and it's already gone. Like it's being depleted incredibly fast. And so it could be within like less than 10 years that we don't have any more of our like unprotected old growth forests left. And so this is a really urgent thing. We need to be protecting what's left of these forests. So I'll tell you a little bit about the Ancient Forest Alliance. We're an organization that's about 1.5 years old, and our main goals are we're asking the provincial government, that's the one that has the jurisdiction over forestry in BC, to establish protections for our remaining endangered old growth forests, to shift to sustainable logging of second growth, and to put a ban on raw log exports, so that we can ensure sustainable forestry jobs, because right now basically mills are being shut down and our government is allowing, like instead of reinvesting in those mills, it's allowing the logs to be shipped out to foreign mills. So we need to do more with the wood we cut, and we need to protect our old growth forests. So things that the Ancient Forest Alliance does are things like organizing hikes and different events, slideshows, doing media outreach, organizing rallies, doing a lot of photo documentation to show people who can't go out to the forests what these areas are like. And we also support groups like Ancient Forest Committees, so those are like activist groups in different key areas. So like the UBC Ancient Forest Committee that Rachel and Ira are coordinating, and at SFU and UVic as well, and also in key political ridings. So we're trying to start up groups in swing ridings so that we can influence the areas where the provincial government is most weak, I guess. And so basically our previous forest minister, Pat Bell, has previously stated that old growth forests are not endangered in BC, and we have more than we had in the past. So has made strange statements like that. And before he left, he did say that he did make some commitments to protecting old growth, but kind of vague. And now we have a new forest minister, Steve Thompson. So we need to make sure that either we get a commitment to be protecting these areas, to make a provincial strategy to protect old growth, or that we get the BC Liberal government out of power. Yeah. So one or the other. So we're working on organizing in key swing riding. So that's one of the main things. I need a lot of help in the upcoming months to the election. So what we're going to be doing is some door-to-door canvassing, talking to people in those areas and having them write letters in. We have a petition that we're going to send around, as well as a sign-up. And we're always looking for volunteers, so like anyone who wants to help with canvassing or tabling, or even like hosting your own slideshow. Like we do slideshows, so if anybody wants to have a slide, like invite friends or do like a letter writing potluck, invite people, have them write letters, have us come present a slideshow, like all of those things are ways that you can help out a lot. So we really need that, especially in the upcoming months.
Also, so this is a totally free public hike. Anybody can join. And if you guys have had a really great time today, well, I won't accept tips. I don't do that. So if you want to express your gratitude, then you can give Hannah a donation to her organization, because they're a totally non-profit organization, and they're not a charitable organization, so they have a way harder time than other environmental organizations trying to raise funds.
And what that means, non-charitable, is that, so we can't give tax receipts, but what it means is that we can say what we want about politicians. We don't have restraints on like politically around what we can or can't say. So it makes it really effective in that sense.
Can I ask you a question, Hannah?
Glaciers and these beautiful, inspiring wild landscapes, but they're conveniently located in places where resource industry is not really feasible. So if you look at the amount of old growth areas that are protected, it's extremely underrepresented in the park system, for sure. So we can either cut down the rest of it, and we get 10 years of good times, and then it's gone, and not